Ballet began about 600 years ago, in the 15th or 16th century. However, America has only really had ballet for 87 years, showing how recent ballet is to America compared to other countries. When it came to the US, the art form stayed mainly in more metropolitan areas like New York City. These years of history have created an intangible barrier of ballet's influence. This barrier kept ballet's influence from smaller areas in the western United States. Willam Christensen, a boy from a small town in Utah, would bring this classical art form to the western United States, breaking the intangible barrier in ballet. Willam Christensen was born in Brigham City, Utah on August 27, 1902, which had an estimated population of 2,000 to 3,000 people at the time. He was born into a musical family that descended from Utah pioneers. One day his uncle, Peter Christensen, came to Brigham City with 3 ballerinas. Christensen later stated that he thought, "It might be nice to dance. The girls look good to me. And besides, they were graceful." Willam would move to areas such as New York to study with Stefano Mazzagano, who had one of the first legitimate ballet schools in America. He would also study with Mikhail Fokine, choreographer of The Dying Swan and The Firebird. Christensen used his education in ballet to perform in vaudeville with his brother Lou. They had a brilliant career that lasted throughout the 1920s. Willam himself declared in 1990, "We finally got to play the Palace." The Palace being an important theater in New York. He continued, "We were the only dancers who did straight ballet in vaudeville. We were virtuosos. Stopped the show almost every night." In 1937, he moved to San Francisco, California. He worked for the San Francisco Opera, choreographing dances for them. This eventually turned into the San Francisco Ballet, a company still performing to this day. It was here that he set his own choreography to many ballets, including Coppelia in 1939. In 1940, he produced the first production of Swan Lake in America. It was in San Francisco where he stated, "Ballet should not have to wear a European label to be accepted." On December 24, 1944, he premiered his choreography of The Nutcracker. It was the first full-length production of the ballet in the United States. Jocelyn Vollmore, who performed as the first Snow Queen, recalled, "We were blissfully ignorant of making history. All we wanted to do was dance." Christensen's next huge accomplishment began when he moved back to Utah in 1951. The University of Utah had invited him to be the head of their new ballet department. His students performed in the University of Utah Ballet Theater, which later became Utah Civic Ballet. These shows could bring a positive impact on the community, and a positive impact on the young children who were enchanted by what they saw. Today, the Utah Civic Ballet is known as Ballet West. Ballet West has since grown into one of the largest ballet companies in the United States. Christensen retired as artistic director of Ballet West in 1975, but he continued to teach for the rest of his life. Several of his students referred to him as a wonderful teacher. He was well known for wanting to develop his students' personalities in their dancing. He was also a humorous teacher who was fun to work with. He once complimented a student who seemed to doubt himself. He said, "Ted, you did that exercise much better today. I remember the last time we tried it, you got so depressed that you went home and bought a cat." Janice James recalled that he wasn't a very technical teacher, but he focused on what really mattered, a true love of dance. His students became Ballet West. Willam Christensen passed away on October 14, 2001, when he was 99 years old. His legacy lives through the growth of his companies, San Francisco Ballet and Ballet West. He was a dancer, a teacher, a choreographer, and a friend. The performances he gave and the lessons he taught broke the intangible barrier by giving new people a chance to see and learn a wonderful new art form. As author Laurel Snyder wrote about ballet, "If only every dance could end in such sweet applause."